Hello, welcome back to Karagor Studios' Remnant Lunar Archon Session 9. Whatever it's going to end up being called, because I don't come up with the names ahead of time. I barely come up with the sessions ahead of time. Hello, YouTube. Last session. Do one of y'all want to give the recap, or do y'all want me to? I'm still in the nice stage of not forcing you to do recaps. I don't know if that will ever change into me forcing you to do recaps, but at least for the moment, I'm letting you have the decision.
I listened to it this morning just so I could.
What was that, Ray?
I listened to it this morning so I could remember.
You listened to the stream. That's fair.
I did.
It's nice
so I
having
could
a
remember
backlog.
what happened.
It's nice having a backlog you can go and check through.
It's actually super handy.
I know, right? It's also great for me, so if I say something and I forget what I said, I can just go back and actually listen to it. All right. Does that mean you're volunteering to give the recap?
No. I don't believe that's what I said.
It definitely was. I definitely heard you say, I, Ray, player of Moretta, volunteer to give the recap.
Yep, that's what happened.
I know there was a nice mini game.
It's definitely not Abby giving the recap.
Well, but I remember that part. And I think I fell asleep during that.
Pretty sure you did.
Because I didn't have dice, so I couldn't really participate.
That's fair.
Yeah, then after that we got into a really big fight.
Yeah, so
it wasn't a really big fight. It was actually only two creepy little spheres that were resistant to freaking everything.
Really were. So yeah, last session, the party was sitting in town wondering what to do next. Having kind of exhausted their options, they decided to go with the idea of ghosts in the desert. Why not? See if they do what you want them to do. And so the party went into the desert, went and hung out near the dome and spent the night hanging out like 100 feet away from each other, just in case anything shows up and then they can yell to each other. These two glowing spheres, motes of light, appeared before Garand and began to guide him. Calling over the rest of the party, you all began to follow these three small spheres that led you to a gently illuminated dead tree standing in the desert that was surrounded by bones of dead travelers. Or, well, surrounded by bones of dead bodies, presumably travelers. I mean, they traveled to the place where they died, at least. You ended up getting there, fought what you came to know as two will-o-wisps. You haven't exactly figured out what that is because no one succeeded on a religion check except for Sylvia, who mentioned that they were will-o-wisps, but y'all haven't actually asked what that is. But fighting these two little flying motes of lightning, it was a tough fight with Doug, really cool, and I don't know if we should change the descriptions because he wasn't here to tell me how he wanted them described, but ended up using his new class abilities to manifest an Echo Knight that traveled around and actually flew into the air and fought one of these flying motes of light, using his ability to dish out 4 attacks in 1 round, before finally dealing enough damage that the two spellcasters, Garand and Moretta, with the two primary... Now you're 4 spellcasters, so that 2 of the 4 spellcasters ended up taking down these things with Garand using a very, very angry Eldritch Blast, blowing apart one of them, and Moretta sending a wave of thunder energy into the air, bursting apart the other will-o-wisp as it flew into her range. You all took a moment to check around the bodies. Sylvia very quickly asked and received the 3rd marble from Thicket, placing it within her bag. And everyone, and that's where we stopped. Standing around a tree with various bodies, divvying up some of the coins that you'd found on them. For notes later as needed, Garand, I believe that brine lasts an hour, right?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
then you've got most of an hour left on that, and then Thicket has about 9-10 minutes left on the Bardic Inspiration that he has, if he chooses to use that anywhere for any kind of checks or anything.
Right. I did not remember that.
Well, you're welcome. And then as you all take a breath, divvy out the money, what would you like to do?
I am gonna reach down and pick up some sand and put it in my little bag and grab a
Are you
piece
going
of
to...
bone.
Okay, I was
Kinda
about to ask,
grind
are
it
you
up.
grabbing sandy bones, or...
Yeah, I'm grabbing like the sand around it and then grabbing bones like that I can grind it.
They're kind of grinding the bones up, mixing them with the sand in your pouch.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Gron's gonna ask if anyone has great wounds that they'd like to have healing for.
I'm feeling alright. Not too hurt. I'm at roughly 80% capacity, I'd say. I'm feeling fine.
Doug is just gonna look at him and question whether he's injured or not.
He is not.
I am so sorry. I didn't even realize you were here. Hey, Doug!
Hello.
Yes, you were quite quiet for the last few hours. Is your throat alright?
Is what?
Is your throat alright? Not feeling any kind of strep, anything?
Uh,
I think Cedar is coming down with a little bit.
just amnesia.
Alright. Unless there's anything y'all want to look around here, I don't personally see anything but bones. And as sad as it is, it's the nature of the desert.
If anyone wants to detect some magic around, we see if maybe something's buried or maybe stuck in the tree or something.
That's a good idea. Let's see, do I have that spell? I do not. Does anyone else have that spell prepared?
If I cast it as a ritual, it doesn't count as a spell slot, right?
Correct. Rituals basically force you to take an extra 10 minutes, and then you don't have to use a spell slot for it.
I will do that.
Over the next 10 minutes, Thicket gathers up some of the sand and bones, creating a small ritual circle around himself. Meditating, and when you open your eyes, you can, if you focus anywhere, you can try and look and see if there's magic.
Bardic Inspiration will be over too.
Yeah.
You already have. Yes, that's true. Over the 10 minutes, your Bardic Inspiration would end. At least on the surface level, there's nothing immediately sticking out to you, but if you want to look around specifically, you could find something. You're not sure?
Is there anything else around the tree or in the tree or something?
Right, make an investigation check to see if there's anything in particular that would trigger a magical aura.
But I have detect magic.
That's true. You really don't need an investigation check because anything that you can see the surface of, because I do believe it is blocked by what's in your vision, even like leaning into the tree, which like the tree, since it had been fallen over, since Sylvia knocked it over onto the wisp and did very little, but it was fun. Even looking inside of this pretty much rotted tree, where there is a hole through the main core of it, nothing sticks out magical. Looking around through some of the bones near the roots, there's nothing immediately magical that you see.
You guys have any suggestions on where I should look?
I mean, if there looks to be no, great equipment, and nothing seems to register as magical, I don't see the purpose in waiting. I think we're near the end of this little mystery here, and I'd like to see at least about that sword, if not more.
Yes, I admit I'm also curious, and I don't personally notice anything of value remaining. I don't know if any of these bones belong to anyone the town knows, if we should bring any back, but I'm not a particularly religious person, so I don't
That's a
know.
good point. That's a good point. Maybe Cedar, could you perhaps speak with the dead? Is that something you can do yet?
I don't think so. Is it?
So let me check the spell list for clerics. You definitely don't have it prepared, and I don't remember if they get it. So let's see. Speak with Dead is a 3rd level spell. You are not powerful enough to cast it yet.
Oh.
It is on your spell list, but you're not powerful enough to cast it yet. You're only up to 2nd level spells.
Sorry, Garand.
No, that's fine. Not a problem. I just thought it might be a good idea. Maybe we're like, oh look, we found so and so's lost sister, and now they could be at peace and all. So it's fine.
Would be nice. Though I imagine if anything wasn't at peace, they would have joined the Will-O-Wisps. They are a sort of undead, after all.
They look really pretty.
I agree. They're gorgeous. In fact, that's part of their danger. Will-O-Wisps are known for luring travelers far away from the beaten path, usually into the den of monsters or to some kind of resting space or dangerous area. Based on the bodies here, I imagine that these, for quite some time, have been bringing people here and killing them. As you look around, and there's probably somewhere between 15 or 25 bodies here. It's unfortunate, but it's the way of the desert. If it's fine with you all, I'm ready to head back to the ruins.
Are all of these bones very similar?
Looking at them, what kind of similarity are you looking for? Like, there's the different bones of the body spread around, so there are different types of bones. Are you looking for
same species, same humanoid,
So there are a few different animal species out. You actually saw there were the remnants of some animals that looks like they might have tried to flee as they were being attacked, that were 10 or 15 feet away from the tree. A decently significant amount, like the 15 or so bodies that Sylvia was referring to, are all humanoid, of varying sizes. Some have larger skulls or smaller ones. It's hard to make out which bones belong to which person, but there are a few different sized skulls around.
So there are bones from animals, correct?
Yes, there are. But these were not discriminatory.
Okay. I'm going to place some of the bones, if there's 5 of them, just place 5 of them, or I'm just going to take 5.
Sure. Any particular kind of bone, or just 5, whatever you happen to grab?
Just 5 of whatever I can grab.
Alright, you can add those to your inventory. I'd probably say maybe 0.5 weight, but yeah, pick up a small collection of bones from the location. Pretty dried by the desert. Some of them even look almost sun-bleached, having been here long enough.
So these bones are just sitting out in the open?
They are. They've been spread around this tree that is standing here that it appears that people have been like brought here or lured here and killed beneath the tree.
Well, that's creepy. Do any of them look like cats?
Not particularly, no. There aren't a lot of cat animals in this desert, and you don't see anything that would be indicative of a tabaxi or anything like, or a faunus.
I was worried about Thicket.
And there are some more canine ones. Desert. Not particularly wolves, though there are occasionally some, but more canine animals. There are a few of those. But no cats. No felines.
Hug is just gonna look confused as he currently is, and just kind of stare at Sylvia and ask, "So we have the 3 marbles?
Do. If all of you are ready, I would like to go and see if we can open the dome.
Absolutely.
You walk back. It takes a few minutes, but you follow the stars fairly easily. As you found that these things had drawn you 3-4 miles away from the dome. But moving back to it, you see the dome as you approach, pillars standing equidistant from each other, and Sylvia will move to go put the marbles in them. As she places the first one in, it fits perfectly. The second, the same. And then as she places the third one in, the gentle light coming from this magical dome dims. There's this thin line of energy that falls from the top, spreading down. As it touches the ground, the dome is gone. You see the gentle wind of the night brushing some of the sand. And actually hear it cause one of the spears that had been plunged into the ground in a helmet atop it clatter as the wind pushes it open, as it had rotted over the years. Sylvia will begin walking through the ruins, making her way closer to the fountain near the center.
Gron's heading right over to the sword.
Alright, so as you and Sylvia walk basically together at the same time, you walk up and see, sitting in the near the center, plunged into the ground of the fountain. There's no helmet on it, unlike many of the other weapons, but this is a fairly large greatsword. It's the moonlight reflects gently but brightly off of this sword. You see, excuse me, though it does have a silver film along parts of it, and particularly along the edge, among the bluish coloration around the handle and the surprisingly well remaining leather wrapping around the handle, and then a blue, very light, looks like to be some gemstone, small sapphire perhaps, embellished into the center of the crossguard. The darker metal stretching off to the side, wrapped in something, but then stretching up from the blade is a fairly unique looking. None of you have proficiency in smith's tools. An odd white metal that stretches in and strikes into the ground. but along the blade, as this metal reaches forward, there are a series of cracks and actually bits of the back edge of the great sword. So one side is pretty much fine, but the other side has bits of the metal missing, cracks, and chipped away.
Does it look cursed?
What a question. What do you think? And hanging around the center of it, or around the crossguard, hanging off, leaning off to the side, as it is a very slight angle, is a symbol of pyrite, which to you all would look fairly yellow, so it would look almost golden. But I've already told you it's pyrite, so it is fool's gold. But this material is a holy symbol that has the symbol of Aether on it. It has the symbol of a rising sun. Let's see, did it do rising sun? What else? I don't. No, Aether just has a rising sun. Yeah, you see the gentle symbol of a rising sun built into this symbol.
Well, that's ominous. You wouldn't want a holy symbol to be made out of something called fool's gold. So
Yes, it's quite
That's-
odd.
that's troublesome. If you're looking around, I could take time to identify it.
I also have that capability. As she leans down and seems to sit and gently touch the sword, moving her fingers along it. I don't have it prepared. Ticket, would you mind casting Detect Magic again? I just want to see how these react before I remove them.
Sure. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
And taking 10 minutes while you're casting it, Sylvia looks over to Garand. I take it you're interested in these then.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we could figure out how to repair the sword, I think it would be quite useful for Doug, as he is a great weapons master. The holy symbol, I don't know, would be useful for Cedar, but I'm not really sure who she follows and all, but again, it's made out of fool's gold. That's it's kind of off-putting.
I agree. But thankfully, while I don't have Detect Magic prepared, I do have Remove Curse. So if something happens, I can help us out. But if you're worried, and personally, as she reaches into her one of her side pouches, she pulls out a pretty well-sized journal. I would like to, if it's alright, and I do think you could make use of these objects potentially. I would like to study them over the night and make some fine details about them. Note them for my archaeology. But then I could allow you to take them and to borrow them. Though potentially I'd like them to go into a museum and Vacua perhaps. One day. But they might see use if they're magical after all.
All right, well, yeah. Let's do what we can. After the detect magic lets us know some things, and again, I can also use the ritual for identify. I guess you said you can as well, so that's good. And then I suppose we could keep watch, and allow you to study and draw and write and note and all that.
I like that idea. And Thicket, as you finish with Detect Magic, looking over and answer your question, the one you would be familiar with would be Sylvanas, which is the nature deity.
Thank you.
But as you open your eyes, once again, the vision taking hold of the magic, you do see both of these objects are magical. But looking at the symbol first, it is a holy symbol that does have it has a abjuration school of magic. It has that kind of aura from it. Fairly gentle. It's not terribly strong, but it is there. Looking at the sword, though, it strikes you as very odd. I do believe this is
The holy symbol and the sword are two separate
They are
entities?
two separate entities.
Okay.
The sword is very odd because it does have an overall magical aura to it. A mixture of, as you see different points of it, as the light reflects, you see the light that comes off of it seems to become almost magical as it removes from the blade. And has an almost evocation or transmuting effect to it. But the really odd thing is that looking down this shattered blade, you don't see it terribly often. The weave of magic that goes throughout the world, this almost often described in terms of by wizards philosophically, it's as the weave, the threads of magic that travel throughout the world. You can visually see them on this blade. You see these threads almost of the magic shifting down the blade, but at different points you see them break and twist, looking like they've almost been cut or traveling along where the crack is and then being severed by where the crack is in this blade. But it still does maintain a magical energy about it.
Wow. I tell everyone else about that.
Well, that's very curious.
It looks very cool.
I agree. A gorgeous weapon. Yes, we can spend the rest of the night in here, though part of me wants to see if we can regain the pillar and sit just outside the ruins. But we can spend the night here if we'd like. And over the next few hours I can take a closer look at these before you all get on your way.
I don't know if I want to spend the night next to that thing.
Which thing? The sword?
Yeah, it makes me nervous.
I can sit a few feet off the side if that's alright. If that's what you want.
I mean, you did say that. I mean, this is your job, so if you would prefer that we try to see if we can reset the dome, then I mean, might as well try.
I would like to, just in case any animals of the night or any grim come and try to disturb the ruins. She will very gently reach over and she will pull the greatsword, taking a moment but pulling it as it slides relatively easily out of the ground. This, as you see now, whereas a lot of the other weapons are driven into dirt or cracks in the ground, this is very cleanly cut into a solid piece of sandstone. She pulls it out, leaving the symbol hanging on the greatsword, and carries it with her. She will walk toward the edge of the ruins.
If it goes with her.
Does anyone stay in the area of the ruins?
Oh, like when the dome's coming on? No, definitely not.
So, assuming everyone follows her to the outside, she reaches over and pulls the first marble out. And as the first marble pulls from the pillar, you do see, and thinking in particular, because you have detect magic on, you see a beam of light come from behind you, and looking around you watch this mote of light stretch, pulling these thread-like elements of magic from the outer obelisk. And you see two others coming from the side, as the three obelisks have these magical beams that reach and meet at the top of the ruins, where the dome had met, and then from there, very quickly moving about, the dome regathers, almost like liquid pouring over a bowl, reaching down to the edges.
I poke the dome.
Solid. Feels just as solid as it was before you put the marbles in.
Nice.
Looks like, despite having removed it, the magic is still there.
Is it a pretty quick covering of the dome?
Yeah, I'd probably say it would take 10 to 15 seconds.
Oh.
When do you ask?
Never. Doug was just going to play a ancient game of wax on, wax off with the, but 15 seconds is a little long.
That's fair. But as it gathers, Sylvia will move to walk around the dome, and assuming you'll let her, if you'll begin setting up camp or anything, she will walk around the dome and retrieve the other 2 marbles, keeping them all together before meeting back with you all. She will set herself up, lighting a few candles, and setting up a soft locale in the sand. You see her pull out a small marble. Not marble, I'm sorry. She pulls out a pearl, very similar to the one Garand bought, or retrieved as payment, and begin to mutter arcane words, gently moving the marble across the weapon, and then across this holy symbol. Her eyes flashing as she finishes, and then begins to quickly jot down notes in her book. What do you all like to do as you rest? Assuming you are taking a long rest, are you?
I mean,
I
we
wanna-
might as
I
well,
want-
right?
I want to talk to what's her face first.
You want to talk to Sylvia?
Yes.
She is sitting there looking at the thing. She is free for you to speak to.
What you doing?
Well, it's not every day you see materials like these, let alone ones that have existed for 400 and... Oh no, that's not right. She looks at some of her notes, flipping through a few pages in the book. Yes, roughly almost 500 years old. You don't see materials, even magical. Well, no, some magical ones survive this long. So I'm just taking notes of their design, of their style. Some of the make is a bit
The family
old.
members that are 500 years old. It's an interesting age.
So actually, Moretta would not have family members that are 500 years old.
She's half elf. Or she's elven. How would she not?
Because, and we haven't talked a lot about this, but in this world, the long-lived races, including elves, dwarves, and others, tend to cap out at about 200, oddly enough. Whereas in other worlds, they could last much longer. Elves actually do reach an odd maturity where they begin to wither around 190 years old.
What about druids?
They're a very rare exception, but that's only very powerful druids. Very powerful druids and monks have been known to live longer, but those are very rare exceptions.
It almost looked like you were doing a prayer, Sylvia.
That was me casting the Identify spell. Very similar to the one your friend Garon can cast. So my magic is archaic. It's a good way to say it, as most of mine has actually come from my understanding of archaeology. It is of a very similar style to the wizarding of... Well, actually, Garon's is a bit different. Mine is a bit closer to Moretta's. But I was performing a ritual similar to how Thicket had performed the ritual to save on spell slots in case something goes terribly wrong tonight. To identify these objects, to understand what they are and what their abilities are. Unfortunately, I'm not powerful enough to directly read into their history, but I hope to get there one day. There are people, more powerful wizards than I, who can actually cast a spell that will allow you to almost walk through the memories of an object, to see history, to understand the stories behind even the person.
I didn't know people could do that.
No, it's very impressive, but the number of wizards that can do that are dwindling. It used to be very many, but at that time it was before the schism. Now it is one of my aspirations to be able to cast such a spell.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Of course. Anything.
How old are you?
Hmm?
How old are you?
Oh. I am, though I don't quite look it, I am 42.
42?
Yes,
That's it?
just 42.
Not 4,200?
No, I'm an elf, darling. Well, we do live a bit longer than humans. We're not terribly old.
I'm very sorry. I know that was...
No, that's alright, that's alright. It's not offensive at all.
I just don't know much about elves.
Ah, yes, there aren't a ton in the north area. Up near Basalt, where you said you came from.
Mhm.
You're literally traveling with one.
That doesn't mean I know anything about you, Moretta.
Makes a fair
Feel
point.
free to ask.
I didn't want us to have any trouble. I was just nervous.
Well, you don't have to be nervous. If I don't want to answer, I won't.
I'm sorry, what was that? The wind was rushing by so quickly. I couldn't understand you.
You ask me questions, I don't mind. If I don't want to answer, I just won't answer.
Fair.
But I have no problem answering questions.
And
Do you
some
have any
people
other questions?
don't take anything for an answer, no matter what you do.
It's true. I've had people ask me many times whether or not I can even sweat. The answer is obviously no, right? She winks over at Moretta.
But that's only female.
I just want to make sure that we're all safe here tonight.
Of course. If you are concerned, you may step aside, though from my identification, it appears that neither of these objects are cursed. And if a curse had been brought upon us, it would have come upon me. That is part of why I wanted to touch them first. Curses can be incredibly dangerous if not properly prepared for. They've become a bit of a hazard in my life. I've been cursed no less than 3 times.
Holy cow.
It comes with the territory. Not every object is as benign as they'd like them to be.
Now I don't know whether to be
First time I couldn't speak.
comforted or more nervous.
What would make you nervous?
Huh?
What would make you nervous? Do I make you nervous? I promise I'm not
Everything.
that dangerous. I can't throw lightning though. Everything makes you nervous?
Pretty much.
That's alright.
You
How old
never
did you
know
say
what
you
you're
were?
going to run across.
How old did you
How
say
old
you
am
were?
I?
Yes.
I'm just 17.
Ah, that makes more sense. You have a lot of time ahead of you.
And I have no one on my side. It's just
That's
me
alright.
out here.
I would
So I
disagree.
gotta
I
make...
say that's very brave of you.
I disagree. I think all of these friends you have here are quite happy to protect you.
And they seem wonderful so far, don't get me wrong. It's just that, how am I supposed to know who I can trust?
No, you have no idea. You have no idea. You just kind of, So far, it behooves all of us to cooperate.
Yes, it is helpful to trust people, especially when you're traveling together. But one of the things I learned, while in school in particular, is that those you can trust are those you choose to trust. And you don't always make the right decision. Don't always choose good people. But it comes with making a decision. It's better to trust than be alone, personally.
I think it takes time to trust people.
Right now, we're kind of in the it's just business phase.
Right.
You know, not excluding that somewhere down the line it to a more personal thing. It's just, right now it's more of a business transaction while we figure ourselves out.
Well, I have an idea that might help you all get more connected.
What's
Do you have a
that?
name? Do you have a name for your group yet? After all, you're all adventuring together. You could have a name. Like the Red Spear is one of the groups that I've heard exists over in Coquina, and they protect that area. Do you all have a group name? If not,
I guess we don't, but
you
I
could make one.
I probably shouldn't make one. I'm not good with names.
What about the rest of you? Garand and Merette in particular seem very good with names, very good with words. What do you think this group should be called? Granted, everyone should agree before you make a decision.
Well, I mean, all of this lot seem to have gotten a letter of summons, so how about the Summon Knights or the Summon Heroes?
Could work.
That seems kind of long.
What about just the summoned?
I like that. I like
We
that.
could be the mailman because we all have letters.
Okay, I like that better.
What about the Written or the Cold?
The mailman.
The mailman.
Still on the summon.
The summon
The
does sound quite
mailman.
nice. Are you sure you want to be celebrated as the mailman when you enter a city?
The mailman.
The mailman.
What are your thoughts, Doug? Do you think you should be called the summoned or the mailman?
Whether rain or snow or
Oh my
ice.
gosh, this cannot be happening.
The mailman.
Yes.
Well, you do have to agree, so I guess you should start persuading each other.
I just think it sounds the coolest.
I love it.
Okay, hear me out. What if we did the message?
That's pretty good.
The who's?
Message. It's kind of like mailman, but a little, not.
I'm good with the messengers.
Yeah, that's fine.
God damn it.
We can
was
we
that?
can be mailmen in our heart.
That's right.
There you go. We're mailman. Black message.
All right.
Does that sound good, Doug and Christopher? Not Christopher. Doug and get on.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, I carry a message in my heart to write the story of these kind folks who did not immediately attack kobolds when they first saw them, and indeed decided to try to rescue them and liberate them. So my heart went out to them, and yeah, I have a story to carry as well.
And Doug.
I think being called the messengers is a little more pleasing than other things I've been called lately.
The messengers it is then. And now you're a group. See?
We did.
You can trust them, Seer.
Do we have like a theme song upon entry?
If you want to have a theme song.
I think that would be best for Garon to address.
I will happily work on something in my off time.
All right. See there? You're part of something now. You'll have to learn to trust them.
I will say that makes me feel a lot better.
I'm glad. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to take some very detailed drawings of these before I hand them over to you. She will return to making detailed sketches, notes, about the objects before her. Is there anything you all would like to accomplish over the night? Let's see.
Thicket turns into a giant spider and gets all comfy in the sand. Go to sleep.
You
Oh,
see
what?
Thicket for the first time. Prepare himself, take a deep breath, and you see his fur shift, becoming slightly more fuzzy than fur. Are you becoming a regular spider or a giant spider?
I believe it says my options are giant wolf spider.
All right, so you become I believe giant wolf spider. Is that small or is that medium?
It says medium.
A medium-sized, fairly large spider with bits of white and black upon him that stretches out and then pulls in its legs, almost reaching around himself, and laying on the sand.
Get all cozy in there.
What was
This is
that
the
y'all were
first
saying
time.
about crust?
I admit I was not expecting Thicket to turn into a spider. Granted, he is also a talking cat.
Staying at a distance, Cedar asks, Thicket, is that you?
Thicket just waves one of the little legs.
I guess
All
that
right.
yes.
All right. You said you wanted Goran to take the last watch. He currently has the third watch with Doug. Is Goran going to join Moretta?
I wrote that I would take last watch, but if someone else already has last watch, I'll change. That's fine.
Yeah, the watches are
They only
currently
need 4 hours, so.
Sure. So Moretta could be 3 and 4. Getting up earlier, but is there a way to set it 3 and 4? There is not. I'll set her as watch 34 because sure, why not? That'll get the point across. But currently it is Cedar as watch 1, Thicket as watch 2, Doug, Garand, and Moretta for watch 3, and then just Moretta for watch 4. Is there anything y'all want to change on that list?
Sounds good.
All right. Going down the list, Cedar, is there anything you would like to accomplish over the course of the night?
No.
All right. Thicket, is there anything you would like to accomplish over the course of the night? I believe... Let's see, how long can you stay in your wild shape at this point?
An hour.
Okay, yeah, I believe it's half your druid level, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Rounded
yeah,
down.
So just an hour. So just for the first hour or so, and then you would turn back into a little cat. Unless you used another one to try to do it again. You can do it twice. But then, is there anything you'd like to accomplish over your second watch? Or over your watch, rather. Over your rest.
No, just keeping an eye out.
All right.
Making sure
Also,
nothing
I should
happens.
I'm also going to make a wild shape ability on your sheet so that we can keep track of the amount of uses you have of it.
Thank you so much. I was going to ask you to do that.
Because I believe you get 2 per short rest, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll mark them as Druid. I'm going to delete the effects because most of it's... Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I deleted the whole thing on accident. I'm going to delete most of its effects because they won't be helpful in this case. Yeah, you'll be able to do that. Doug, is there anything you would like to accomplish over the rest?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So on the rest, it's... Are we talking about the, like, keeping watch?
The 8 hours, is there anything you'd like to do across your 8 hours, whether it be on or off of watch?
Oh,
You'd have
I
to
think
sleep
I'll
for
just...
a total of 6 hours, so most of it would be while on watch, but you could, like, fiddle with stuff while you're on watch.
Yeah, so I'm gonna convert the 5 bones to darts.
Alright. So you're gonna make 5 darts?
Correct.
Alright, you should be able to go ahead and add those to yourself from the item sheet into your inventory. If you cannot for some reason, just let me know.
Okay.
Garand, is there anything you would like to accomplish over the rest?
It makes sense that this is when he'll start writing the song, so that way when I do this in real world time,
It will
then...
work out.
Yeah, so I can have like, yeah, there was time. I tried.
Yeah, I definitely took the time to do this. Alright, and Moretta, over your 4 hours of time, is there anything you would like to do?
Not really that I can think of. I don't have a whole lot going on. Kind of need to take some time, reflect, maybe write another letter.
Alright. Cedar, do you want to change out any of your spells, or are you satisfied with the type of things they do? If you want to change them out, since you don't know them as well, one of the things that clerics can do is that during a long rest, they can change out the spells they have prepared with any other spell on the cleric spell list. So if you'd like, we can change out any of these if they don't meet what you want for them. So if there are any of these that don't feel like they're doing what you want and you'd like to change them out for something else, just let me know. You currently have Bless, Cure Wounds, Inflict Wounds, Protection from Evil and Good, Hold Person, and Spiritual Weapon.
No, I'm good.
Good, you're happy with them? Alright.
Yes.
Does this count as my as like an expended use of wild shape for the next day?
No, because you have not finished a long rest yet, because you get your stuff
Okay.
back at the end of a long rest. Granted,
Okay.
even if you get wild shapes back on short rests too, so you could just count part of it as a short rest and get it back anyway. And you're already working on your spells. Doug doesn't have anything to change out, I believe. Garand, I don't think you get spells changed per day on any of your things. I don't think you have anything else you have to do for that. Moretta, are you going to change out any of the spells that you have prepared? Currently have Burning Hands, Mage Armor, Magic Missile, Thunder Wave, Witch Bolt, Scorching Ray, and Snowball Storm prepared. You also have access to Detect Poison Disease, Expeditious Retreat, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 prepared. Oh, you can have... No, you can have 8 prepared, so you can actually prepare 1 more if you'd like. The 3 that you don't have prepared.
I'm gonna go with sleep.
You're gonna add sleep to your list as well?
Yeah.
Alright, that works out. I also just realized there's a hole in my shirt. That's unfortunate. I like this shirt. But we'll survive. It's not to be mistaken. Yes, you are the messengers now. Not to be mistaken for the TV show, because apparently there's a TV show according to Doug. Or Jack, rather. Alright, let's see. Oop. And that covers most of the things. everyone ready for me to long rest the party? Is there anything you need to change? Or I see if there's a long rest and see if anything happens during your watches. I've checked. Fortunately for you all, nothing happens over the course of the night. Is there anything y'all need to do before I click this button? Enjoy your long rest. You lose brine because you do not have it on you anymore because it has been far more than 1 hour. I need to throw exhaustion back on Sylvia because that's something that's supposed to come back afterward because she does not sleep this night. She spends all of her time working on her stuff so that she has it all noted down and finished for y'all come the morning. And let's check the weather as the day begins. Is it gonna rain again? Nope. The weather today is clear skies. As the sun rises across the desert, quite simply, quite beautifully, we'll take a moment, take a breath as it reaches about 9 o'clock by the time everyone finishes up. I need to start more music because the music ended. Yes, the sun rises, the night goes by quite easily. It is 9 a.m., Sunday, the 26th of February. What would you all like to do?
I'm sorry, correction. So you said this is Sunday, February 26th. Is that correct?
Yes, Sunday, February 26th.
Excellent. All right. Well, yeah. So once we're getting together and having breakfast, I'm sure we're probably busting out some rations and whatnot. I'll see if Sylvia. Did you learn anything dangerous then about the sword? Is it something that we should look into repairing? That Doug might be able to wield it.
Oh, she takes a moment and rubs her eyes. Yes, so let me look at this for you. As Micah pulls back up the notation for it. It's definitely in character. Yes, this great sword. Well, I might want to let you take a clear look at it to get a full understanding of all that it does. It does still function. It looks like the magic is holding it together enough that you could still use it as a viable weapon. So even now he could use it. It appears that while the magic is holding it together, it is not permeating it to the point that it would damage magical creatures such as ghosts. It would not be able to properly strike them. However, it is silvered, so some things like lycanthropes it would still be able to attack. It also has an odd ability that you can use the reflection of it to cause someone trying to attack you to potentially miss by distracting them by putting light directly into their eyes. It also has the ability to periodically, effectively once per day, actually cast a spell. It can perform the cleric spell ceremony, particularly just for the funeral rites though. And could be reforged. I don't know what all would take, but it does have the capacity to be brought to its former glory. The holy symbol actually makes its wearer more courageous, helps them become stronger and less likely to be affected by frightening creatures, such as, potentially dragons, if you ever see one. If you ever see a dragon, call me. Let me know. Find me. I need to know about the dragon. But yes, both of these should be useful.
Before or after we kill the dragon?
Either. If you tell me before, I will probably want to go with you. So, depends on how much you value my safety, I suppose.
Gotcha. Good note.
Let's see. I suppose since she's already telling you, I can go ahead and identify these as I throw them into the party inventory. Oop. Oop. Let's see. The holy symbol is a holy symbol of courage. The symbol of courage is a simple pyrite holy symbol infused with the power by an act of heroism. The symbol can be used as a holy symbol by a cleric, or a paladin, and gives a creature wearing it advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Let's see, does it require? I don't believe it does not require attunement, so you can just wear it and have it going. The other weapon, though, is the Shattered Silver Greatsword. Its name is the Shattered Memory. It is a greatsword, 2d6 piercing or slashing damage, the normal effects that a greatsword has. This silvered weapon shines and reflects light with incredible radiance. As a reaction, when a creature you can see makes a melee weapon attack against you, you can use the weapon to reflect light into their eyes and blind them temporarily, giving the target disadvantage on the triggering attack. You can use this ability once and regain the ability to do so at the end of a long rest. I spelled reflect wrong. Spelled with an E, not an I. Additionally, once per long rest, you can use this weapon to cast the spell Ceremony as a ritual, without requiring the material components, but only for the funeral rite effect, which, for y'all's knowledge, the funeral rite effect, I believe, makes a corpse that it's cast on unable to be turned into an undead for 7 days by any means short of a wish spell. And then you also, from attuning to it or identifying it, you gain a strong indication that this weapon only possesses a fragment of its former power and could potentially be reforged.
Very fancy.
Yes.
That's excellent. Doug, would you like to bear that sword? I think you would make most use of it.
Sure. I'll give it a go.
Let me double check, but I believe that does require attunement. It does require attunement. I don't know why it isn't listed as it, but yes, it will require attunement. There we go. Boop. Alright, and those are in the parcel on the party sheet, so you can drag that into your own inventory if you'd like.
How do you check the party sheet again?
It's under tools.
Yes, it's up on the tools in the part on the top right. Party sheet, which has the main inventory, order, and XP tabs. Don't know what all you can see with the main page though, because for me I can see all of your abilities and AC and stuff and measure them against each other, but I don't know what all y'all can see. That was how I was very easily able to check and find that Garand has the lowest wisdom.
Yes, we can see stats. We can't see exact numbers on HP though. Just a little bar.
Okay, so it looks like Doug is also picking up the Holy Symbol of Courage, is that right?
Sorry, I thought it was on the sword.
The Shattered Memory is the sword. They are disconnected. They are two separate items. The Holy Symbol was just... It's built as a necklace, and it was hanging on the crossguard of the sword, pierced into the ground.
I see. So I will...
You could assume that the original holder wielded both of these.
Oh. I will
have to.
keep the courage for someone else to use. I'll put it back.
Okay.
If I can put it back.
You should be able to. Drag it from your inventory over to the parcel on the party sheet.
So my inventory is being weird because all I see are my darts.
Well, that's really weird. You also didn't add the...
I promise I took nothing.
Darts. That's okay, I'll move it over. Oop, now it's in the right spot. You made the darts yourself. I'm gonna drag darts from the items tab, or from the items, so that you have it automatically programmed in. Dart. Oop. So dart RW 5 of those. And because they're bone, let me check the materials effects, because that might actually have an effect here. Different materials do have effects. So they do weigh half as much, but they already weigh 0.1, so they're fine. And because it's a normal weapon, it has no special effect. You should say that out loud, Christopher. Let the audience hear what your musings are about the weapon, or about the items.
So that symbol is useful for really anyone, but I think whoever is most likely to be affected by it, or least likely to be affected by it, would be the most useful bearer. Simply because either the person who's most likely to need it would really appreciate the ability to more likely resist fearful effects. Likewise, the person who is least likely to need it, having that as a failsafe can be useful to almost guarantee that they would never fall victim to it.
AKA, lowest or highest wisdom is his idea. Also,
Lowest
Doug.
wisdom being the most susceptible to being frightened.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and you
Also-
want to use it by saves, like, because I have the lowest wisdom, but because of my class, I have +2 wisdom saves, so I actually have a +1 save overall. And as the proficiency goes up, that will go up. So whoever isn't proficient might actually have lower than me. So
I have a +7 and I'm proficient. So wisdom save.
So yeah, it's either thicket or mine is +1. Doug, what's your plus for wisdom save?
0.
So yeah, I'd say either thicket or Doug, and since Doug got that, I think maybe thicket then.
Are you sure
I don't-
you do have proficiency in wisdom saves, but oh right, I was looking at a different thing. Continue.
I don't mind if Doug has it.
No, it's okay. Take it. You can take it. I don't need everything.
Well, despite being a cat, I'm not all that fearful.
But you're certainly curious now, aren't you? Curious little kitty.
That seems a little demeaning, don't you think?
Like, you have like 9 lives?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you have 9 lives?
I don't know, and I don't think I'd like to test it.
That's fair.
Probably wise. I mean, if I had 9 lives, I could.
If Bernardo is anything to go off of, dying is not fun. Her owl flutters on her shoulder.
I just shove the holy symbol into Doug's hands and walk away.
Is it Doug or was it going to be Garon? I don't remember which one of you.
Is Doug.
It was Doug?
Doug's is lower, so it should be Doug. Yeah, because maybe even more so because of the fact that he's so combat heavy. So if something fears him, then we're losing like our tank.
All right, I will toss it on his sheet then, despite his protests.
But clearly that means he's out of loot for like 4 times or no.
Obviously, that means he's not allowed to get the next thing, right? Because he's gotten 2 of these things, which I will go ahead and equip the holy symbol on you. Would you like to attune yourself to the shattered memory? Doug? Would you like to attune to the shattered memory?
The sword.
Doug?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Oh,
now
we
I can.
now.
Yes.
Cool. We'll go ahead and
Also, can we
attune
do
it.
a sleight of hand roll between Thicket and I to see who puts it in whose pocket?
I'm cool with that.
Okay. So are you trying to slide it back into Thicket's pocket
Correct.
after Thicket gives it to you? Okay, make a sleight of hand check versus Thicket's perception passive. What is Thicket's passive perception?
17.
So
Wow.
you don't see as the holy symbol of courage is placed back into your backpack. I will throw it over to you now. There we go. Let's see. Shattered memory. Is there anything I need to add into your sheet? Probably under weapon powers. Shattered memory.
You know, when we get back, Doug, you should ask the smith there if he knows a way to maybe repair or improve this.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm sorry if I wasn't speaking clearly. Doug, when we get back to town, you might want to have the smith look at it and see if he might be able to do something to repair or improve it in some way.
I agree. Sorry, my ears seem to be full of wax this morning.
Ew. Ew.
Yes, that sounds incredibly unfortunate.
You can help it.
And it's unfortunate still, though. Oh, and just to cover the things that, as a great sword it has, the Shattered Memory also has a parry ability. So you can use a reaction to add half of your proficiency bonus to your armor class, reacting to an attack. Oop.
Maybe a nice sand shower will help clear my ears.
Has the sweeping ability, so you can attack multiple. So if you have multiple enemies and you reduce one to 0 hit points, and there's another within 5 feet that you can reach, and the original attack would hit, you can continue to damage. So you could swing it around you and kill a bunch of goblins. You can change it between skewering and slicing for damage and critical bonus. Audio's bad on Jack's part. That's unfortunate. I'm going to ask again. Is anyone in particular going to take the air dust, dust of dryness, earth dust, and potion of healing that are in the party sheet?
What are those?
I don't think anyone wants to actually
Make the
be the
decision.
person that's like, I'm gonna claim it.
The air dust you can use with your aura as an action to make it burst of air around you, and then all creatures within a 10-foot radius of you have to make a strength save or be pushed back and take 46 bludgeoning damage. The earth one, you can make a magical rock that you get to yeet at someone within 30 feet of you to deal 40-10 bludgeoning damage. Dust of dryness, you can use to turn water into a marble-sized pellet that you can break later on to release the water absorbed, or you can throw it at a elemental composed of water to make a saving throw or take a bunch of damage. The potion of healing, you drink it and it heals you, or you can feed it to someone else and it heals them.
Can I have the first one?
The air dust?
Yes.
Alright, then you can go ahead and drag that into your inventory on your sheet. You should be able to
I'll
do that.
take the earth one.
Oakley dokley. You should be able to do the same. Well, actually, it's if Chris wants to do that for you, he can, or I can go ahead and just drag that on over for you. Oop.
I'll take the dust of dryness.
I was having a hard time trying to figure it out, so if you could, please. Thank you.
I've got it. I've done it. 2. You can drag the air dust as well onto Moretta's. And who would like the potion of healing? Oh, also both of those dusts could potentially be refined into another
Who's our
form.
healer?
The people that have the most healing capability are Cedar, Thicket, and Garand. With Garand having done probably the most healing so far.
I'm stingy with my spells.
I'll take it then.
Right, I will throw that into Cedar's pouch as well. Cool. Now you all have the things, and the only things left in the party sheet are what Berea is carrying. Berea the mule. Alright, you've all taken the time, you've attuned to the sword, and what would you all like to do?
Why do we just have a sled?
Oh, Berea is actually pulling the sled with the barrels and stuff on it. Because Berea is too weak to carry the barrels and stuff on her own, but with the sled, she can carry quite a lot more.
Why a sled and not like a wagon or something?
Because you were going through a desert and the people that gave it to you decided it was cheaper to give you a sled.
Okay.
The sleds are a lot easier to manufacture than a full wagon.
A sled would probably be more useful in the desert anyway. Alright, well, if we're done, I mean, we might as well head back to town, and maybe we can leave in the morning and make our way to one of the other 2 towns. I think looking at the map, one is longer but is interrupted by another town. The other one is shorter, but it's it's longer, like before you get to rest out of town. So
just so everyone's looking at it, here is the map of Vacuo again. We are currently in Feldspar, where Thicket's icon is.
I'm sorry, I tend to have selective hearing, or at least people in whom I tend to ignore. So I am only able to comprehend what Sylvia, Abby, and Thicket are saying, or Cedar.
So basically, he can only understand some of us that are talking into Discord for some reason. Wonderful. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I've tried different things with my audio settings, and for some reason, it's cutting out on like 2 people every time I redo something.
That's really weird.
Well,
I agree.
For the days it would take from Feldspar to Keenite directly is 11 days, moving around the larger sand dunes in the desert. Or you could try and go directly, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days directly, but then you'd have to potentially get lost in the desert. More likely, at least, to get lost in the desert. But, when it's Thicket, who knows? Or 9 to Schist, and then 9 from Schist to Keenite. Or you could completely go a different direction, get to Schist, and then take a boat over to Reef or Lahar or somewhere. Or even potentially take a boat to Nace over there. Or, just sail off to Vale, because, I guess you could. Don't. I'd have to develop a new continent.
Please don't.
But please don't do that.
How long did you say it would take to get to Keenite?
Directly from Feldspar is about 11 days.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm okay
We
with
would
getting
get
lost.
there at like 2 weeks early.
Oh, never mind.
So, I mean, we can get there early, but
Yeah. They technically said try and get there by the 24th.
yeah.
They didn't say you're gonna die if you get here. I'm sorry, the 25th. They didn't say you're gonna die if you get here on before the 25th. Like,
But they didn't say that that wouldn't happen.
that's true. They did not promise that you wouldn't die on the way there, or if you got there early.
You never know when you're
And
going to
they
die.
and they did say they would come after us if it's past the date.
What? They just said they were gonna send some of the monks of the Four Spirits to come get you, or members of the Four Spirits to come get you. Four Spirits Monastery, whatever it was they said. What did they say?
So we
Now I'm gonna check. But sorry, continue roleplay among yourselves and decide.
So
What
we're
have we heard
currently at
about
Feldspar.
Schist?
What was the question about Schist?
What have we heard about Schist?
Nothing. No one has mentioned it. You have not asked anyone about it. The same could be said for most of these places. Country.
I thought there was supposed to be like a library or something. It's just
There is. It's a port town, so they probably have books shipped in from all over, even as far as Vale and Mental. Shipped in from any of the towns on the South Peninsula, or even brought from potentially other locations. So there's probably more books there than there are in Keenite, but it's not. I don't know of any particular library myself.
my mistake. Then I thought someone had said something about that.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
In
I
the
think-
previous town.
Oh, yeah, potentially. Like I said, they haven't been there. I don't know if anyone from Myosine has. I have heard the Lord of Schist is very fun though. She is called the. Let me double check. I believe. The Lord of Schist, I believe is called a. And let's roll an intelligence check to see if Sylvia remembers the name. I believe they are called the Merchant Lord, but I don't remember anything else.
What?
Yes, the Merchant Lord.
That's
Lord of
us. We're the
What?
merchants. No, we're the
We're the
messengers.
You're the
messengers.
messengers.
Yes.
They are the Merchant Lord. Though, oddly enough, I think that's actually where one of the primary courier services in Vacuo was started. So it would be kind of funny if you went there.
I mean, that sounds like a good reason enough. But whatever you lot decide, I will support you. I think both have their merits. So
How long does it take to get to Schist?
As you look at the map, you see it is about 9 days from Feldspar to Schist.
Hmm.
And then about a 9-day travel from Schist to Keenite. You will save a grand total of negative 7 days. You go through Schist to Keenite, if your goal is time saving. But you will also be traveling longer in one trip to Keenite than you would be to Schist.
So, are we done with the ruin? Like, I guess I should ask Sylvia, is there anything else we should do?
I don't think so. I don't imagine there's much else you can do to help me out. Most of it's going to be very careful detailing, see if we can find any hidden rooms or any remnants of what the location was like beforehand, taking very detailed notes of the objects there. In fact, quite a few of those objects, maybe not all of them, but a few of them will be taken back to Vacuo to go into a museum. But no, most of it won't be super helpful for me. I'm probably going to have to wait a week and a half, 2 weeks for the rest of my group to get here to help me with all of the manual labor and detailing. But now that I've got a way to open the dome, she pulls out one of the marbles and puts it back in her bag, I should be able to begin work myself. But I'll still likely be here for another month, maybe 2. Takes quite a long time to take very detailed notations, to be very careful with everything in there, as I don't know exactly what is breakable and what might need careful consideration in moving. But I don't imagine any of your skill sets would particularly lend themselves to the ruin.
Cool.
I guess technically you could stay around here and help me out if you wanted, but I'll be honest, I don't have anything I know I would use it for.
Cool.
So where did you say you were going next?
We don't know.
Ah,
It's hard making decisions.
it be like that sometimes for some people.
Well, we could go straight there and then see whether or not this letter is something worthwhile.
We could
I
play
suppose
out
we could
dreaming.
always go to Shist later if we ever decide to.
Or we can adventure to Shis first and explore before getting to our final destination.
The odds are even.
Let's do.
That's nice.
It's true. You do have dice.
Let's do odds as Key Knight and Shist as evens. Is Moretta rolling for it?
Yes.
Who's rolling for it? Okay.
So was that intended to be 5d6 into the tower?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you your result?
Yeah.
You got 4 2s and 1 3, equaling an 11.
We're going to Key Knight. Wait, I forgot which ones I said.
You
I
did
thought
say
it was
odds.
What? Key Knights was odd, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have an opinion, Garand? You've been quiet.
No, I'm just following along and trying to learn from you and well, I guess them, and keep them safe and write the tale of them. I mean, do you have any idea how odd it is to find people who want to directly not harm kobolds running away from a town with goods in hand, and then when we approach the kobold residents, they weren't immediately killed then either. Instead, they were given an opportunity to speak. It's quite remarkable, really. It's absolutely impressive.
It is very odd. Any kobolds that aren't a member of the claw typically don't last very long. Or, I'm sorry, the scales.
Oh, that reminds me, Sylvia. You were wanting to see a dragon, right?
Yes.
Um,
Oh no.
I hear that if you pay attention to these kobolds, odds are within your month's time, one of them may be a dragon before long.
That is what one of them told you, is it?
In a way.
I must admit, in all of my studies, I have never once heard of a kobold actually achieving the dream of becoming a dragon. I guess I
Well,
technically have seen a dragon, if you could call her that.
What was her
But-
name?
Oh, Estrella, it's the queen.
What?
Did you not know? Queen Estrella is a half-dragon.
I don't know much.
I live in the woods.
That you do, yes, but Queen Estrella is a half-dragon. Supposedly, her mother, the previous queen, actually managed to summon an amethyst dragon and bound it beneath the castle, and had Estrella from it.
what is the other half?
The other half, human.
Your mom's human.
My mother is an elf. I don't understand the joke. But yes, I'm surprised. I mean, not particularly. Most of you aren't from here, but surprised no one mentioned that to you. You're also taking the queen being a dragon quite well.
I'm a cat.
You have a fair point.
I mean, everything that I've encountered since I've met these people has been pretty crazy, so
You also have a fair point. No, yes, you're right. But anyway, I need to get back to the inn and compile some of my notes. And tomorrow I should be able to. Actually, let me check. Do I not have something prepared? I should be able to send a message to my friends tomorrow. Let them know that I've already begun work. Unless there's something you all need me for. I didn't sleep much last night, so I want to get some rest.
Cookie night.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you all.
you as well.
Sylvia will depart and return to the inn.
How long has it been since I tried to give Doug the amulet?
It has been, let's see, you walked back to town. It is, we'll call it about noon 30 now. So about 3 hours.
I'm just gonna shout, "Hey, Doug, catch!" and throw it at him.
Mom,
Doug Thicket throws the amulet back to you again.
Can I make a I guess would it be an athletics check to see if I actually catch it?
I would say unless it's in a combat scenario, you probably could catch it. If you want to make a check for it, you can. It'd probably be a dexterity check. Let's see if you can catch it. He drops it. Doug, unfortunately, actually, as he reaches up, it skips off of his hand. He tries to grab it, then it falls into the sand.
Well, I guess I'll reach down and accept it for now, just to avoid conflict.
Boop. I will throw that back into your inventory. I'm emotionally prepared for you to one day slip it into someone else's pocket as this game of
Hot potato.
hot potato continues indefinitely. I expect y'all to get to the final boss and then be like, and it's back over to
But wait.
Grant.
The holy symbol! Our secret
mean-
weapon!
We might just throw it to the boss, and then you'll just get an
The boss
extra
like,
boost.
what? Just get that extra level of confusion. And then you try and like cast fear on it or something and it fails.
I was gonna say it could turn out to be like a secret, like hidden weapon, like later in the game, like Final Fantasy IV, the Spoon Dagger.
That's true.
All right, so are y'all heading to Kenai now? Are you taking the day? What are you doing? What would the
Doug's
party
gonna-
like to do?
Doug's gonna talk to Cedar and ask her, how is Buria doing?
Why
Is
would
she
I
ready
know?
to go now? Is she ready to go now?
I don't know. You should ask her.
Okay. I guess going to the stable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at Beria and not sure what she's doing. But I guess I will cozy up to her and ask if she's ready to go.
Make an animal handling check.
I'm just like silently following along, just out of curiosity.
As you walk up, she looks at you and scoffs toward you. And backs away.
I'll just back up and say, I think someone else should ask.
I'll give it a go.
What do you do? Do you just ask?
I
What do you do?
just like calmly approach Berea. And I'm like, "Hi, Berea. You ready to go?"
Roll an animal handling check. Maria looks at you, continues to chew her hay, tilts her head a little, but no immediate reaction. You don't even know if she understands you.
I offer Berea a good berry.
She eats it and continues to chew hay. You get the sense that you could offer all of the good berries to her and she would eat all of them. Alright, is there anything y'all would like to do to prepare for the journey? And are you leaving on Sunday? Are you waiting? As it is now about 1 p.m.
Well, eventually Garon will catch back up with Doug, whether it's at the stable or not, and we'll say, Doug, did you want to go? And we'll head over to the smith and see about him looking at that sword.
Yeah, let's do that first while we're waiting.
And then we'll say, we could perhaps push it a day, to as a relieving just to everyone. If we try to like hustle, we might be able to cut a day's travel time while the weather's still nice. And then he'll walk with Doug over to the smith.
All right. Also, I forgot, since we did start a new session, anyone who hasn't already done it can give themselves a hero point. You head over to Hashim's. You arrive, you see he is actually working on some of the wood on the exterior. His house. Seems to be cutting some of it with cutting a few different pieces of lumber into more manageable planks.
And he's the blacksmith?
As far as you know, he's the only handyman in town that you've been told to go to. Unless you were trying to look for somewhere else. That's what I'm aware of.
So we just approach, I guess, and then, hey, Hashim, got a second?
Of course.
What do you think of this? Is it, you think it's fixable, or will it break with the first strike?
We'll take a look at it, and I'm going to roll a d20 for his intelligence check. It definitely looks fixable. But I gotta admit, it's above my pay grade. I'm an okay smith. I can make nails and stuff, but it's something I haven't dealt with before. Also, the metal is familiar to me, but I don't quite recognize what it is. It's weird. It's almost like iron, but not. You know? But I would definitely not trust my own hand to fix this.
Is there anyone in town that you'd recommend, or perhaps in Schist or Keenite that you might point us towards?
Well, Keenite's actually it's known for its ore processing, so maybe someone there. Well, they've got some good smiths. But I hear the best smiths in the entire country are in Basalt. So if you want someone who's certain to be able to take care of it, I'd go there. But again, you're also going across the continent. Well, across the country. But yeah, Keenite has some good smiths, but I don't know any of them personally.
Great, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. It's worth a shot. Sorry I can't be more of help.
No, you're very helpful. Thank you for pointing us to Keenite and to Basalt. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks again for all your help.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good trip wherever it is y'all are going next. I appreciate y'all helping out around here.
Certainly. Make sure you keep that water clean now.
Of course. It's the biggest thing in town.
So yeah, I guess Garon would kind of motion towards Doug to head back to the group, and hopefully Doug will start following. But Garon will go and see if everybody thinks it's a good idea to maybe try to push the travel and maybe squeeze 2 days worth of travel into like a day and a half, and then to get that long rest.
Could you repeat what you said? My brain didn't comprehend it.
So effectively, it's like I don't know, maybe about like no later than 2 in the afternoon. So if we were to leave, like basically like get ourselves ready, like start heading out now, we could theoretically push the rest of the day, which is clear weather, and hopefully the next day's worth of travel. So we would get like maybe 2 days worth of travel in just one day, and so it'd be like Monday night we'd take a long rest. We'd be tired, but we'd take the long rest Monday night. And then we would have effectively been 2 days, so we're that much closer to Keenite. And if there's something waiting for you guys there, if there's some sort of like, oh great, you're here early, you get your first pick of this great set of armor or something, and I mean that could all be useful. But effectively, while the weather's good, it seems to make sense to try to push it. But
I mean, I don't particularly see what the rush would be for. We're set to arrive like 2 weeks early, anyways.
well, we did speak with Hashim, and he did recommend that someone in Keenite might be able to help Doug with the sword that we recovered, and might be able to repair it. So having that extra time would allow that smith to take care of that. So
I guess that's true.
It seems that everything
worry
is
about the
pushing us to Key Night.
Moretta, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I mean, I agree. We have good weather. We want to make use of it while we can, because goodness knows what tomorrow's going to
I believe she said might as well push while we can because who knows what kind of weather we'll have tomorrow, basically. Sorry, you were
I
cutting out a bit.
I agree with you, Moretta. However, someone needs to convince Betsy over here to hop on it.
Her name is
be
Berea.
better if she called her by her actual.
I did, but that didn't seem to work. So maybe I thought she was upset with her original name.
I asked Berea if she likes her name.
Roll animal handling. I'm just checking to see if you get a positive, neutral, or negative reaction. Wow. That +7 bonus must be nice. Bria looks down and then licks the top of your head. Like pulling your cap off a little bit as she licks the top of your hat.
I think she likes it.
Well, then let's go.
Also, technically, if y'all wanted to, you could take a really long trip over to Kenite and you could just go, north up from there and then over to here, over to Sheer, and then, head off to Delta, and then up to
I lost the map.
What's wrong with you?
And
How do I open it?
It should be in the images tab. It should be shared with you.
Which one?
Under campaign.
I meant like which image?
It should be labeled Vacuo, is it? It should be identified.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, you can just head over to Sheer, and then up to Delta, and then Vane, and then Vacuo, and then back down to Kenite. You wanted to take the long wear. Or, better yet, for Vacuo, then you just go to Coquina, and then Gosan, and then Schist, and then back to Feldspar, and then on to Kenite.
We get there very late.
You get there 2 years later.
What if we go to Sheer and then take a boat all the way around the continent and then back to shit?
That would be a several month journey, but you could technically do it. So what were y'all deciding about what your plan was?
We're going to Kenite.
Going to Kenite, yes, but are you leaving today? Are you waiting till the next day? Are you trying to squeeze?
I just need to go and get scratch.
Yeah, I think
you need to go.
I believe everyone's wanting to leave very, very soon.
Sounds like it. Okay, are y'all gonna try and do what Garand was mentioning and try and hike through the night to try and get 2 days in by the end of Monday? Or just try and get 1 day in today and just have a later landing?
I don't want to hike tonight.
What was that? What was that, Ray?
I don't want to hike through the night.
And did you say, Doug?
I said, well, we just need to make the most with the day that we have.
So is that what y'all are doing? Are y'all just hiking until the evening and then resting?
We can power walk until it's nightfall.
I think the question he's wanting to know is, are we sleeping or not?
Yeah, are you getting to the next hexagon?
Are we pulling an all-nighter?
I guess that depends on if there's encounters before then, right?
Maybe. What's the plan ahead of time? Because y'all can change your mind. But knowing plans ahead of time is useful.
Well, my initial recommendation is if we go to Key Night, I think while the day is still young, relatively, while the weather's still good, we press as far as we can, as long as we can, even if it would to get us to tomorrow dinner time, and then we just have a longer rest. And so that, yes, that would mean that we would move through the desert at night, but it is cooler at night, so we would theoretically be at least moderately more comfortable, possibly. So there's options, but again, that's just my thought process. But again, I'm here to serve the group, so consider me just another voice in the wilderness.
So I guess we can do half a hex since it's half the day is gone, and then if everything's okay.
Okay, so you're just trying to move 1 day's worth or so today.
Correct.
Cool. Are there any
Or
special preparations y'all are making?
We already have enough for the mule.
You have 6 days worth of feed for the mule, but you'll also have been feeding it good berries so that you don't have to feed it the normal amount.
Oh, then maybe we don't have enough.
Ration, water, and mule.
You have 140 gallons for 7 creatures, which will last you 10 days.
Yeah.
But potentially, Thicket can create water.
Yes, I can. I'll do that throughout our trip, like every other day.
I honestly think that we are even fine as we are.
All right.
We do have individual rations, let alone the party rations. So
Yeah, I only have 2 left.
And so do we have enough berries for Buria to make it through?
I can make 10 every day. I always have like 4 extra.
Thicket can make 10 a day, and each one can maintain a medium-sized creature, which Berea is because she's a mule, for 1 day.
Great.
Actually, I don't even know if it says medium-sized creature. I think it just says a creature.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm ready. Everyone else is ready.
All right. Taking the first day, we are going to take a break there. Take the break there for 10 minutes, come back at 9:50, and then finish out until about 10:30 or so, because I know that's when everyone gets a bit tired, so let's probably try not to go to 11 here time.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, and Garand is going to give 2 rations to Moretta. Do you know how to trade that out through the party inventory, or you want me to just go ahead and update your numbers myself?
I just minus. I just -2 and gave her 2 more. So I just -2 on my own. So,
All right.
But the thing is that we have party rations. So even if she runs out herself personally, she can dip into the party rations and still be fine. But if she wants to, on her way out, see if she can buy some more. I mean, I don't think that would take too long.
How many rations did you say you had, Moretta?
2. 2.
You have 19.
Oh,
that's the weight.
Be good.
The 2 is the weight. So
okay,
you can...
all right, I'll take my 2 back then.
Yeah.
I start to hand him, and she's all like, "Oh wait, I have this whole pile right here. I don't know what I was thinking." And I'm like, and I give her a look. I just take it back.
Just puts your hand back in the bag. A whole loaf of bread going back into the container. So one of the achievements I was looking at that I decided not to do because y'all have earned it, I think, twice already, was an achievement I saw because people have made achievement lists online before, and so I was looking through some other ones just to get some inspiration. But it was like Drama Llama is what it was called, and it was like roleplay for 3 hours or an entire session without combat, and I'm like, y'all have done that like twice already. I'm not putting that on the list for y'all.
I mean, is it plausible to have our happy ending without combat?
I'm gonna be honest, no. If y'all decided to walk away right now, a lot of bad stuff would happen.
You cut out.
I'm gonna be honest, if y'all's characters decided to walk away right now and that was the end of the campaign for your characters, a lot of bad stuff would happen.
I see.
Not every problem will be solvable by talking to it. Unfortunate.
Even if we offer them caddyship?
Nope. What is
Boo.
caddyship? What is caddyship?
Giving them the opportunity to intern and get free airfare.
At the membership. At the messengers.
At what?
As part of the messengers, right? Let them be an intern of the messengers. Your group name.
Doug has a thing he might bring up later, just about semantics.
Ooh.
Because shouldn't it be the messages since we received the message?
I wasn't gonna say it, but yes.
I love it. That would be like where we start next session. We're just all fighting about like, no, it's the messengers. No, it's the messages.
But messages sounds stupid. But
Previously on Lunar Archon.
I mean, I was fine with just men or
Mailman.
Yeah, I did miss most of that whole conversation because for some reason 3 people were cutting in and out, which now it seems fine, which is weird.
All right. Are we ready to go to Key Night?
Let's go.
Making my way. Okay, I believe we're officially leaving.
What if, instead of stepping out of my comfort zone, I stepped into an even comfier zone?
I would enjoy that.
What if you turned into a giant wolf spider and buried yourself in the sand?
That sounds terrifying.
Ticket, Lauren says hi, by the way.
Yes, I texted her back.
Oh,
I don't know if she got it. So she
I
has
told.
notification silence.
Oh, well, I told her she could verbally tell you,
Ah.
but she refused.
So what are we waiting for?
I don't know. I
Me.
told Micah we were leaving, and he just gave us memes.
Hey, I said 10 minutes, and I'm gonna stop standing for my full 10 minutes.
Are we taking a break?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said pretty clearly we're gonna take a break. Be back in 9:50.
That might have been like right when my earbuds died.
Oof. Yeah, we're taking a break. I'm sitting
Okay,
down.
I had no idea. I was just sitting here waiting. I was like, "What's going on?"
Oof.
I was like, "No one's saying anything."
We all sat down and decided
I was
to
like,
chill.
"It's even more quiet than usual."
Absolutely amazing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle real quick then.
Do that.
We forgot to pray.
Oh heck, we did. For God, thanks for letting us be able to gather here this evening and have a wonderful time. Please help us all be edified by each other in our play. So we pray. Amen.
Good one.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello, back. I'm Micah.
Hi, Micah. Do you want to be friends?
Sure.
That sounds great.
Nice. I'm glad we had this conversation.
I am too.
There's a lot of secret rolling going on.
What? Don't know what you're talking about. Couldn't be me.
Roll perception to see if you notice the rolls.
And he succeeded. He passed the perception check. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Someone want to roll 2d4 for me?
I do.
Do it. Cool.
This song is freaking me out because it's like one of the only ones that's had words in it.
It's because it's lo-fi.
But like we don't usually have ones that have words in it, and so I'm like trying to figure out, okay, who's talking? Do I need to turn someone's volume up?
Nah. It's all good. Alright, is everyone back?
Yup.
Is anyone not back? Abby, are you here?
Yes.
Cool. Christopher, are you here? Christopher, are you here? Okay. Doug, are you here?
Yes.
Ray, are you here?
Yes.
Thicket, are you here?
No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
Okay, I think we're just waiting on Chris then. Whenever he gets back, we'll jump back in it for a few minutes. I mentioned probably why your headphones were also messing up, Thicket. Probably gonna try to end closer to 10:30 on like 11, like we have a couple times, because people get real tired by then.
All right.
Yeah, time change doesn't help either.
It really doesn't.
Or
I've
the
been wanting
time.
I've been wanting to go to sleep at like 6 o'clock.
Also,
Yeah, sorry, it was a headphones issue. I heard you guys, but I couldn't respond. Sorry about that.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've been here.
Cool.
I should have just
now
typed.
now we know you're here. Okay, getting back into it. I would like the navigator, who we know is probably going to be Thicket, to go ahead and roll.
You cut out at the end. Roll what?
You know what you need to roll. I don't even have to tell you at this point.
Survival?
Correct.
One of these days I'll roll good.
That's pretty good. Because you're traveling
Because
during
of
the
my
day,
modifier, it's good.
That's fair. But because you're traveling in a desert in the middle of the day, it's not a hard DC. Alright. Bonk. Moved you up one because you do successfully manage to, over the rest of the day, going just a little bit into the evening until about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, you do manage to move effectively 1 day's worth of the journey. And now, we need to check the order. So first, Cedar, I need to roll a thing. Cool. Cedar, during the watch, what are you doing?
Watching.
Cool. What is your passive perception? You don't have access to your character.
No.
Your passive perception is 15. Pretty good. So you would notice there's a rumbling in the ground. You see shifting of sands on one of the dunes as you all set up camp. And I am going to share a map with you all. Boop. Boop. As something seems to happen on this first night. Where on these dunes would you like to have set up camp?
I don't understand the question.
Oh, right. You can't see anything.
Yeah, it's all black.
1 second, and I will fix that.
I mean, I can't see it.
I have dark vision.
How about now? Where do you want to be?
I don't see it. Like I'm not watching.
Oh, you should turn on stream then.
It gets echoey.
You should turn on stream and then mute the stream.
I didn't see a way to do that last time, but I'll try.
It should be right next to the play and pause button.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, jeez.
And this is a question for all of you. Where on this area would you like to have set up your camp? On these dunes?
On the bottom to the right.
For this more open area.
Yeah.
Does everyone else agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeet.
I mean, one patch of sand looks like any other patch of sand to me, but I'll
That's
take their
fair.
word for it.
Go ahead and put your tokens wherever you want within this circle.
I see a thing on there.
I was checking something.
Okay.
Is that where you all want to be? Where you're camping? Just to make sure it's where you're camping.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Now roll initiative.
I mean, you're right, though. All right, let's see. So, Cedar, as you're watching, keeping an eye out, you see a shifting of the sands, and you notice it on the dunes directly off in front of you over to the left, but then also coming from the dunes off toward your right. As you hear this clicking sound, this shifting of the sands, and then you see something burst out from the sands. Several somethings, actually. These long, almost centipede, serpentine-like creatures. The familiar black and white with red markings upon the skull-like helm or mask upon it. As these surprisingly large centipede-like creatures, we'll check that they are medium size. They should be, yep, medium-sized centipede-like creatures burst out from the ground as you see these. You see quite quickly 2 of them burst out off to the left over here, and 2 more burst out of the sand off to the right. And I'm gonna stop the super chill music so that we can roll initiative.
Nah, man, it's just like a fight, man. We'll be fine.
It's so chill, man. It's fine, dude. Whatever. No biggie.
It does seem like a chill fight with our initiatives.
Wow, 2 6s so far.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna turn
Now
on.
Thicket's in it to win it.
Oh. I don't like going first.
Well, thankfully, you are going to be surprised.
Oh no.
Also, any of you that are wearing armor, you, except for Cedar probably, because I don't imagine she would have taken hers off until she went to sleep, so would keep it on during the watch. But I need you to go ahead and unequip your armor because you can't sleep in armor very well.
Great. Sounds lovely.
Yep. Isn't it so nice being ambushed in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm. Thanks
All right,
so much.
stop with the chill beats. I love you.
I
Stop.
feel like it happens a lot. Just saying. I feel like we get ambushed at night.
You have been ambushed now twice.
That's 2 times
Kind
too
of
many.
ambushed last night.
3 times if you count the wisps.
Yeah.
I really
Right.
wouldn't because you were intentionally waiting for them. But
I didn't know
Whatever
you were
you
going
would-
to be mean.
that's fair. You didn't know for sure that they were going to be.
And
Okay.
Doug, remember, none of these.
I need Cedar to roll initiative, or I can roll it for you. But whoever's controlling Cedar, I believe, is Chris. Go ahead and roll initiative. Yes, Gods Bound by Rules. What a wonderful song. Oh, and it also going first. So all of you are surprised, except for Cedar, who gets to go first. So Cedar, what would you like to do as you see these? Oh, you really can't see. I guess I should throw a campfire down because you. Do you have a campfire? That's a good question. Do you have a campfire?
I have a
I don't
torch.
know.
Well, now is the time to decide.
Is that a spell that someone can cast?
No, it's you build a campfire.
Well, I think Druid has like a campfire type spell.
There's a bonfire spell, but that only lasts a minute.
I have Flame Blade.
As you see these pretty quickly figure out Grim of some kind. Do you want a fire? Cedar, would you have made a fire?
Yes.
Surely someone would make a fire.
Alright, we will go ahead and I will drop a fire there. So that those of you who are blind, like Cedar, can see a little bit. So I do need to go ahead and reset vision. Just in case.
Wait, why am I blind?
Because you don't have dark vision, I don't think.
Oh,
Hey,
I see.
Let's see, is there? I think everyone's vision should be set properly. I hope.
I mean, I see the bad guys, so I'm happy, but...
I mean, it's a mostly open area. It shouldn't become too much of a problem. Cedar, what would you like to do? At the moment, everyone else is asleep.
I was about to say, can I wake everyone up?
How would you like to go about doing that?
Shouting.
You all can wake up as Cedar shouts very, very loudly over all of you as you all begin to stir. On your turns, you'll be able to wake up and presumably stand up. Is there anything else Cedar would like to do? Movement? Action?
No.
Alright.
Can I peanut gallery?
Abby, can he peanut gallery?
I guess. I don't know what that means.
Talk about your turn, but that's
Oh,
up to you.
of course.
Yeah, I just don't want to dishonor you and your process of learning the game and what is fun for you. So that's why I'm asking first before I make any kind of suggestions or anything. All right, so if that's okay. All right.
Yeah, of course.
I would recommend casting a spiritual weapon at the ones that are nearest to you, which would be the upper two right ones. Because you'll immediately be able to attack with them with that spiritual weapon. And if I'm correct, I believe it is also a bonus action, so she could theoretically also do a sacred flame on the same one. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Micah.
She should be able to, but I was gonna say she used her bonus action to wake all of you up. But if you want to say she used an action and then bonus action cast spiritual weapon, I'm fine with that.
Okay, well then, yeah. If you're saying the bonus action was to wake everyone up, then technically the game does not really allow for you to sacrifice an action as a bonus action.
Sure,
so
but I also didn't specify, and it's also an abnormal action to take. It's not a perfectly written rule, so I would allow it if you wanted to swap out in this case.
Okay. Well then, yeah. Abby, if you were willing to cast that spell, spiritual weapon would allow you to attack right now, and there'd be an extra thing on the field. Though I don't know that they would necessarily go after it, but I think you can make opportunity attacks from it. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, let's try that. Thanks, Chris.
You cannot make opportunity attacks from it, just by the way.
Okay, so I know some things do and some things don't, so I don't know all the things. So
That's fair.
All right, so yeah, there's 2 near her. It's your choice, the upper one or the right one. They're about the same distance from you.
What would you like to attack?
The right one. The one on the right, I guess.
Alright, so unidentified creature 8. As you wake up, you reach out your hand, and the similar greenish hammer that you've summoned several times before swings out toward it and actually smashes into it, sending it careening off to the side of the dune, damaging it as it seems to fully affect this creature as it breaks part of its carapace that runs down its back. It's only the 1 spiritual weapon attack. Alright, and I believe that is your turn.
Yeah, can I just say how cool it was, though, that when I tried to hit the cast button, because I'm trying to figure out how to do the different spell things, it rolled the exact same number? That's pretty awesome.
Oh, nice. Alright, Thicket, what would you like to do?
Let's see. I can't have 2 concentration spells up, can I?
Nope.
Darn.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Okay. Really wish I had something long range.
Yeah, that's a thing that you should eventually look into.
Okay, well, I am going to cast Flame Blade and attack.
What are you attacking?
Let's see which one.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. You are surprised this round. My bad. So you actually would not be able to do anything proper. You would be surprised. You would wake up. But because you were asleep, you would not be able to take any proper actions this turn. I am sorry. That was my fault.
Okay. Next round, we'll get to this.
Next round, the Flamey Blade will come out. Berea will also wake up. Moretta is waking up. Garand has woken up. Doug has woken up. Because they rolled worse than all of you. And let's see, I did forget, and
Hooray.
good note, I did forget make a token for spiritual weapon like I'd intended to. So, we're just gonna make Bosk the spiritual weapon.
No, make it Bob.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I could make it Bob.
Make it Bob. Attack them with a crab.
I will make it Bob.
I kind of want to see a spiritual crab weapon.
Bob the test dummy has finally entered the battlefield.
Round of applause for Bob.
Woo, we love Bob. We hate Bob. Bob's awful. Screw Bob.
Bob, who doesn't know any languages.
Bob knows no languages. Bob knows nothing. Bob is an idiot. Let's see. What is your movement speed, creature? Only 30 feet. Why do you start so far away, you idiot? Thicket, can you put yourself on a proper space? The left or the right? Or I can roll a thing. Also the same for Moretta. Can you put yourself on a proper space?
Only me and the mule were on proper spaces.
Yeah, I noticed that. Cool. Alright, this creature. Heckin' slow is what it is.
Surely they burrow for 40.
They don't burrow for 40, but this one will burrow beneath the ground and disappears. Unidentified creature 16. Its friend is going to do the same thing, and also, as you see them burrow beneath the sand, disappearing out of sight. They seem to have a pinpoint understanding of where you are. Unidentified creature 3. That one. Going to move to the nearest living creature. Moving right up to Doug. You see as it moves up to you. I should throw prone onto all of you as well, because y'all are still down until you choose to stand up. Prone. Prone. Not on cedar. Prone. Prone. There you go. You guys are all proned now.
Why am I restrained?
Why are you? Wait, you're restrained? Why are you restrained? Stop being. I probably pressed the wrong button. Here we go. No more restrain. Instead, be prone. Also, Berea is prone. Berea has not stood up. They were asleep. This is going to make a single bite attack against good old Doug. Question is, will it hit? That's a nat 20.
It is.
This is gonna hurt.
Can I barbs that?
Oh my god.
So you want a silvery barbs. Okay, I will put him back at full health. You are giving disadvantage. So I will just go ahead and re-roll it. And, if it's a 20, and then just use the new roll. And not instantly knock out Doug.
And
who are you giving advantage to?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna come eat me or finish eating Doug, that other one that I see. So I'm thinking maybe Moretta.
Okay, so you can give Moretta advantage on her next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. Moretta, you have advantage. You don't get to choose when to use it, you just have it. It does still hit Doug, but not for as much. Instead, it deals... It deals a total of 12 damage, with it six of it being piercing damage as it bites down into you with its mandibles. And then as it bites into you, you feel the inside of its mouth is covered with this acidic liquid that seeps onto you as it reaches down and tries to bite onto you, with you barely being able to pull up your aura and push it away, as the aura seems to burn almost as the acid moves onto it and seems to be trying to affect it before dropping onto the sand and burning that away. You also take 2 necrotic damage. That is its attack. It is then going to trigger an opportunity attack, as it is going to burrow beneath the ground. Would you like to use your reaction to opportunity attack this creature?
Absolutely.
All right. Make an attack with disadvantage, unless it's with a knife.
And this is with the shattered memory, correct? Because that's what I...
Is that what you want to use? We hadn't specified, so actually you should probably make it with your bite attack, because
Didn't
you
we
wouldn't have a
leave that
weapon
sword
to draw on.
with... Oh wait, no, we were taking it to Key Knight.
Oh, yeah,
you're
that's
taking
true.
You're taking the shattered memory with you. You'd probably have to use your bite attack because you haven't had any time to draw your weapons. Since you just woke up. But you can still bite attack it. Which I will make it visible again for you. Oop. Bite attack should automatically give disadvantage. You didn't roll it onto it, but that does hit this creature. So you can go ahead and then roll damage. as you reactively lean over and bite into it, actually carving along part of the edge of its flesh. Because you do that. Oh, you didn't deal enough. So thankfully, as you bite through it, you do feel a little bit of it, but it doesn't affect you. You do feel that as you pierce into it, it's the acidic, whatever it is, saliva or blood, does seem to move along, but you do pull your mouth away in time before getting harmed by any of it. They almost took acid damage as you attacked. Go invisible again. They don't need to see you anymore. Fantasy Grounds, catch up with yourself. You're doing great. I believe in you. Oh, there we go. It's not Bob's turn. Bob doesn't get a turn. We hate Bob.
I love Bob.
Bob's a monster.
Bob is a happy little crab.
Let's see, unidentified creature 8. Obviously, you know there's some type of Grim, and if one of y'all wants to use a free action to make a religion check, you can. On your turn. Try and figure out what kind of Grim these are. Let's see. Closest creature. There's a Garand. It moves up to you. You've already used your reaction. It is going to make its attack against you with advantage. Surprising no one, that hits. On Fantasy Grounds, I believe in you, doing great. There we go. Surprising no one, it hits as it moves over and bites toward you. You push away with it with your aura. But as it cuts down, you take 12 points of damage, bringing you down pretty low immediately. As this piercing energy pushes around you as you try and push it away, and this liquid acidity drops down on you. It is then going to, because it used 15 feet, it is then going to disappear beneath the ground as it burrows.
We have lost Abby.
Abby!
Hmm?
Abby! Oh, you're
Yes.
awake. You're awake.
Yes.
Wonderful. Proud of you. What would you like to do? As you saw
I'll be
them
right back.
come up and attack you before each of them disappeared beneath the sand, burrowing downward.
I don't know. Jeez, they're in the sand.
They're in the sand.
You can hold your action if you would like.
It's true.
Bless was really helpful before, so that's an option. Or you can Cure Wounds because both Garand and Doug took damage. Aside from holding your action, those are 3 different things, so you'd have to pick one of those 3 things.
What does Bless do again?
Bless gives 3 of your allies or yourself an additional 1d4 on all attack rolls and saving throws they make. So whenever you roll an attack, you would get your own
heck
extra
yeah.
4-sided die and add that to it. All right, who are
Let's
you
do
blessing?
that.
Who are you choosing to bless?
It's 3 people, right?
Yep, 3 of your choice.
Okay.
This fight should not last long, don't worry.
Doug,
Okay,
Garand,
all right.
and Moretta.
All right. Can you throw those on to them, Chris? Be able to either target all of them by control clicking on them, or just dragging it individually onto each of them. Very nice. Anything you'd like to do with your movement or bonus action?
No, if I can't see them, there's nothing I can really do.
All right.
You could move the spiritual weapon close to someone to possibly protect them in the future, depending on how things move and end up. But that would be the only thing I would suggest if you want to.
Not right now.
All right, Thicket. You are laying on the ground. There are big centipede monsters.
I will stand up.
You stand with half your movement. What would you like to do with the rest of your movement and action and bonus action?
Okay. I have 2 routes that I could take that I'm
True.
thinking of. So
Probably more than 2, actually, but yeah.
Well, yes, but 2 in mind. I'm gonna roll a d4 to decide.
Do that.
Okay, let's see. I gotta decide which one's which. Okay. Okay. I cast Bark Skin on Doug.
You can cast Bark Skin on other people?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, I think that's all. Wait. Oh, it is an action. Okay. And then I cast Shillelagh if I am allowed to do that in one turn.
Yes, because it
It's
is
a
a bonus
bonus
action
action.
and also
Okay.
a cantrip.
Yes.
So how does it look when you cast Bark Skin, if you want to describe, or I can?
I just like. Well, I was gonna say clap him on the shoulder, but I'm too short for that. So,
I am still lying down.
true. Okay. I just like tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Don't die," as little like scales of tree bark form itself around him in makeshift armor.
All right, yeah, as you tap him on the shoulder, quickly from where you tap, these wooden scales grow out, covering up his torso and his arms, giving him some level of protection. Your AC can now not be lower than 16 while Thicket maintains concentration on this.
So, question: why was my AC down to 12 earlier?
Because
You
you
were
can't
sleeping.
sleep in armor. You were sleeping and you can't sleep in armor.
Oh, but I have natural armor, so it should be 15 automatically. Right?
And no, I forgot about that. You have a fair point. It still would have
Oh,
hit
if
you.
that's
when
the
it-
case.
That's fair. I should have realized that. It still would have hit you from what it rolled, but if this may or may not change what Thicket wants to do.
Yeah.
My bad. I
Um,
forgot you had natural armor because of being a lizard man. Because of being a Californian.
Well, in that case, if his armor class is 15, then I'm gonna go over here-ish. Let me see. Not letting me move. There.
Run over past Cedar.
To Garon. And
And
cast
I
it on
assume.
him.
Alright. Garand, I'm now fixing your AC to be 16. Boop. Enjoy. And then I assume still casting Shillelagh?
Yes. And I'll be like, don't worry, I'm not restraining you.
He looks at her with just like a look of shock across his face, like, no, by all means, yeah. Thank you.
And then Berea will stand up, and then take a few steps back in fear, not understanding what's going on because she's a mule.
No, I can't do this. I was gonna say, can I hold? But I used my action.
Yep, you already used your action, bonus action, and all of your movement because you moved 15 feet, which was all you had left. Moretta, you're lying on the ground. Moretta. Well, there goes Abby.
Abby!
What?
Hey!
I'm right here.
Okay. Someone's asleep. It might
Ray?
be Miranda.
Ray, are you
No,
awake?
yeah.
Okay.
It's only like, what, 7 o'clock where you are?
Hey, some of us go to bed at like 7. I stay up late for this.
Okay, what would you like to do? Late stayer-upper?
I mean, it might as well. It's dark at like 4 o'clock, so.
I mean, that's a fair point. But yeah,
I am going to stand up And
Stand.
I am going to. I guess I'm going to be on the safe side, and I'm going to cast Mage Armor.
All right. You'll be able to go ahead and apply that to yourself. It will give you a +3 bonus to AC to account for it. And as we've established before, you have no bonus actions, so I'm not even going to ask. You are the most bonus actionless person in this party. Go on. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to move 15 feet anywhere?
Okay, here's the weird question. Can I hold my movement?
No.
Worth a shot.
It's a fair question. Especially if you're not as, what's the word? If you're not as well known of the system. If you don't understand the system as well. There we go. That's words.
Technically, you could hold a move action, but that would use your
Yes.
action.
You could. But that'd be an action. Garand.
All right. He's going to look around and he's going to say, "Gather together. I think that they're going to keep doing this sort of hit and run tactic." And I'm actually going to try to demonstrate that. And I'm going to try to move next to. I'm going to stand up and move next to Doug, and I will heal the both of us hopefully very well in this turn.
I was low-key a little bit hoping that you forgot you were prone and I could narrate you crawling over to him. But no, you stand, you walk, and you move over. Alright. And what heals would you like to give? Casting Cure Wounds. Alright, you heal Doug for 12 points as you reach out and restore some of his aura with your magic. And using your own healing light, you do restore yourself just a little bit. Not as much, but you know, it's a work in progress, right? Healing is not linear, as the psychologists say. All right, Doug, you've been attacked with acid and teeth, and then healed. What would you like to do?
Yeah. So he immediately stands up. He will equip or ready his newly attained sword.
Just out of
Can
curiosity,
he-
are you using it for piercing or slashing?
I'm trying to get to it. Let's see. I will use it for. We'll do piercing.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that as piercing until you say otherwise. Continue.
And then. So that's his action, right? Is to ready his sword.
No. That would just be part of a action. So you could do an action with it as well. So if you wanted to like ready an attack action, you could.
Yes, I'm going to ready an attack. And then for my bonus, I will manifest an echo.
Where are you manifesting an echo?
Well, I'm trying to. Is there a way to, like, do I just double click?
I have to pull a new token out if that's what you mean.
Well, I'm going to manifest my bob at about 15 minutes or 15.
15 minutes away down the hill a little bit.
So he can go 30. So let's move him about.
I
Right
think
here.
he starts within 15 feet of you.
Great.
but can move 30 on it. But it has to stay within 30 feet of you.
Right. So he's just going to hang out right there.
All right. That is him. And now for unidentified creature 13, which will actually... So just to see how you describe it, I described it last week as you creating an almost yellowish light, because I couldn't remember what color your aura was, but this almost yellowish light figure that separates from you. How would you describe your echo?
Yeah, I would say it starts by radiating from the chest area, and it
Near
just
the tattoo?
and it just like gets bigger until like it's all encompassing, and then I guess as the light fades, there appears to be two figures.
All right, and he separates from you and moves off this lighter yellowish orange version of you.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a flash to where you don't know which one's which.
So, let's see. Because of the nature of the echo, let's see. Tisk. Yeah, you could say an echo is almost a manifestation of yourself. So as the echo is there, coming up from the ground is become visible. Visibility. Why are you being mad at me, Fantasy Grounds? I'm so nice to you. There we go. I got it. It's going to rise up 5 feet out of the ground and is going to attack the echo, which isn't going to roll properly, but the echo's is 14 plus dex, so it has to roll a 16 or higher. It misses as it goes up, and then it is going to immediately dive back beneath the ground. Your echo can make an attack of opportunity on your behalf if you would like.
Yes. So... Where did it go? Okay, there it is.
That hits. Next time, make sure to roll it onto it. Go ahead and roll the damage onto it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Wow, okay, so even as it resists the attack, because it is not properly affected even though it's silver, unfortunately. But as this creature shifts back over and the head begins to move underneath the ground, this echo of Doug shifts over with this mirrored version of the shattered memory, slices down, and in one queen's sweep, cuts through the creature sideways. He slashes... No, not downwards. Slashes from the side and cuts it into 3 pieces, bisecting along the middle as it falls to the ground, and then turns to ash, as all Grim do. Grim are wont. 2. Boop, boop. And now for this one, which is going to...
What?
Well, someone just rolled a bunch of d10s for some... actually, d100s. I don't know why Thicket rolled 20 d100s, but in case you're curious, he rolled a 1066. And then, showing up next to Garon, is this other unidentified creature, which will attack you. Bite. That hits, even with your AC bonus. as it strikes into you, dealing additional damage. You take 10 points of damage, bring you down. Actually, as your aura flickers, as it breaks down past your halfway point, bring you down to fairly low health as this creature claws toward you with the mandibles biting around, trying to attack your neck as you bring up your arms and push it away using your aura. The acid splashing around but not managing to properly burn you. It is then going to immediately go back down into the dirt. Would you like to make a reaction attack, Garand? Dagger hits. Roll damage. You carve into it as it comes down. You actually bring up and stab your dagger into it as it pulls down. As it moves, it carves along its back as you see some of the acid. As you see your acid, despite its more acidic blood that it has, it actually cuts through part of this creature's this bone-like shielding, this carapace on its back. It actually carves through as it moves across. And then it delves into the ground, returning
Before it goes,
yeah?
Can I also initiate a reaction?
You were holding your action, but because you used your reaction to attack with your echo, unfortunately, holding your action does use your reaction if you were to use it. So it's basically one or the other: opportunity attack or the reaction to attack. So I would say you would not be able to in this case, unfortunately.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, you're good. I should have thought of that ahead of time myself. My bad. That was unidentified creature 16, so now we are unidentified creature trace. Boop, boop. As this other one comes up and attacks you. Sorry about that. Had someone peek in my room for a moment to ask me something. And this one is going to attack Doug. And is going to hit. And deal a total of 13 damage. The majority of it piercing and acid damage with a little bit of necrotic tied in, as you do manage to pull up the sword and push it back, keeping it from properly hitting you, but still splashing you a bit, and you use your aura to brush it off. Boop, and then that is going to delve beneath the earth again. This one is going to come up over here next to you two and is going to attack the smallest creature available. Hello, Thicket. Here's an attack. That's a miss. And then it's going to try and move 5 feet beneath the ground. Which of
It
you would
missed when I have the lowest AC.
Hey, it can roll a 3-2. Are either of you attacking with opportunity attacks, Cedar and Thicket?
Yes, I am gonna cat claws.
Go for it.
Okay.
Claw like a cat would. Is Cedar going to attack as well with her mace? Abby. That definitely hits. Cat's claws.
Abby might be asleep, but I also forgot, and I thought that was actually Moretta. So yeah, let me go ahead and swing for Abby.
You're good. Roll damage for cat's claws, which could.
Am I able to also do the what's it called? Ensnaring thing.
So you could, except you're going to instantly kill it.
Okay. Never mind then.
Because you actually dealt more than double its hit points. As you slash into it, as it moves away, you quickly slash with your claws, one after another, cutting through it, carving open its stomach. As, unfortunately, with this, you are going to be struck by some acid as it pours out. Oh. You did succeed on your concentration check, so he continues to keep his bark skin over there. But you do take 2 acid damage as you carve through it, cutting up the bottom of this creature as the internal acid spews out before it falls to the ground and dissipates. These things hit hard, but do not have much in terms of hit points. What would Cedar like?
2 damage.
What was that?
I took 2 damage.
You did. You took 2 damage from the acid. It's not a lot, but it's there. What would Cedar like to do, Chris?
I think she's going to move up and heal.
All right. Which person is she healing? Garand or Doug?
I guess she will heal Garand because Garand healed Doug so Doug should theoretically have more. Doug should theoretically have more hit points than Garand right now.
All right. Go ahead and cast the spell. Nice. Garand heals 7 hit points as this light green energy sweeps over you, restoring some of your aura and making you feel more at peace. Anything else for Cedar?
And it won't let me move Bob. So if you can move Bob next to her, next to Cedar, like to the right, so that if she can get it closer to possibly helping out.
All right, Nickit, it is your turn again.
Okay. Where did like the last one go underground?
So the 2 that you know went underground. There was one here, and there was one here. Don't know if they moved around, but you know that's where they went underground.
And they're still alive?
Presumably.
Okay.
Their corpses did not ash away.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna move here and let's see here. I will use healing word on I'm gonna roll a d4.
You and your d4s.
On Garand.
On Garand. Heal Garand as you healing word him.
Don't die while there's still life inside you. Live now. There's plenty of time to die later.
Get busy dying or get busy living.
Hashtag speaking from the heart, B. Fletcher.
All right.
I love how last session he wasn't gonna help me, but now I'm getting all this help. I love it.
Yeah. Mad at you
have
last
the D4
session,
to thank.
but now you're like, it's fine. You have D4 and Doug already having decent AC.
D4 and natural armor.
Yeah.
All right, so I healed 2.
No.
Oh wait, I didn't roll.
Gotta roll.
Oops. Sorry.
Trust me,
Okay.
you're gonna heal more than 2 on account of a high wisdom modifier. There you go, that's 7. You're feeling much better. Alright, anything with your action?
I'll hold Cat's Claws.
Alright. Baria's gonna chill over there. She's fine. Moretta, what would you like to do? Ray?
I'm still thinking which spell I want to hold.
Oh, what a good question.
It is.
So many good spells to hold. Like Thunder Wave! Sorry, I'm a big fan of Thunder Wave.
I mean, me too. It's what took those other suckers down?
Thunderwave does party damage.
I mean, sure. Technically. Let me double check what Thunderwave's wording is. I'm curious now.
What Thunderwave's what?
Could it penetrate?
Technically, it can.
It can what?
It can penetrate ground. She could cast it into the ground in an area and just kind of see what happens.
It's a 15-foot cube from yourself, so it could reach
15 feet down.
Yeah. Is it 15 feet from you or 15 foot total?
It's a 15-foot cube total.
So that would be like 7 feet down.
No, it would be a 15-foot cube. It's a 15 on a side cube. And it doesn't originate from you like... it's not like it's outward from her.
It says the range is from yourself.
Yes, so like
in a
from
15-foot
one side
cube.
of you. So it'd be like from one side of you, like... I can remember how to make a heckin' cube. I can show you. Which of these does... There we go.
Is it... It's not centered on you? I thought it was centered.
Yeah. It should be.
It is not. It is not centered on you.
It says 15 foot from yourself.
Yes.
It out from you.
It does not say out from you. It's not a 15-foot radius.
It says a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Originating from you must make every creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you.
Yes. So it originates from you on one side and then goes in a 15-foot cube. I agree it's weird, but I've looked at different stuff for it, and I'm pretty sure this is the intended way for it to function. Not supposed to be this. It's supposed to here.
I don't fully agree with that, but okay.
Fair, but I've decided. But yes, back to what would Moretta like to do? Da, 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 da. Moretta?
I'm thinking.
That's okay. Thinking is allowed. I just like knowing you're alive while you're thinking.
Don't die while there's still life inside you. Live now.
What is that from?
It's a TikTok.
Okay. Makes sense why I don't know what it is.
I can send it in memes.
Sure.
I'm gonna ready Firebolt.
Alright, keeping it simple. Garand. You're feeling much better. Your aura feels very solid.
Hooray! For what it's worth, I was 100% in the camp that it was centered on you, but the Jeremy Crawford, he's the guy that is like the main dude. He does Sage Advice, which is like a Twitter thing or whatever, and he specifically said that it doesn't have to be, that it can be around you or out or whatever, but it is a 15-foot cube.
Yeah,
so
but I guess you can have it around yourself if you want.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have it centered on you. I don't know why it keeps saying 20 when it's a 15-foot cube. There's something broken with it. So you could have it on you. There we go. Now it's 15.
But it's
or
not
you could
necessary.
have it from a side.
Right. And then you're immune to it, I guess. That's what it seems like.
It seems to be the intent.
So, anyway, all right. Only the casters, not everybody else. But anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Moving on. So, let me see. All right, so I'm basically going to exactly repeat my turn. I'm going to heal Doug again for the cure wounds and the other healing on myself.
All right.
I'm just going on record as saying I get the whole thing being in front of me. Because that's kind of what I imagined when I was taking them down, was that the cube was like above me.
Yeah, that you like place out your hand and then it comes from your hand in that 15-foot cube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Doug is feeling really good now. Nice cure wounds, maxed out. And then not a nice healing light.
And that's fine, but I like to say, both times I've met all of his damage, so I'm very excited about that. And that is a very refreshing bit of seawater.
Yes, as Doug would, as Chris described in the Discord chat, the healing spells feel like a warm, tropical, refreshing smell of pineapples and beaches and hibiscus and salt water. Because why not be an islander? Even though your character's not an islander. But yeah, let's go. Doug, what would you like to do?
If you like pina
Yeah,
coladas.
so Doug is just sensationally
Autumn
confused
rain.
because he feels hurt and then immediately does not. And
Your arm is just going up and down and up and down.
yeah, he's just like beside himself. But yeah, so he is he does know that he's in combat still. So his little I guess mirage of himself is going to go 15 feet in this direction. He's going to position himself right here. Actually, no, he's going to back up a little bit, kind of go back to back with his comrades. And then he was going to use a bonus action, but he doesn't need to anymore. So he's just going to ready an action.
Alright, ready in action to attack. You hold yourself and wait. Oop. I need to move you for a second because the creature was under you. Where does it want to go? It's gonna come up over here. Can I make it visible? For some reason, it won't let me make them visible on their turn, so I'm gonna temporarily make it your turn again, and boom, there you go, visible. As it is going to come over here and rise up. Merida, use your reaction attack to attack. Did Thicket also have a reaction attack?
Yes.
Both of you make
Cat's
your attacks
claws.
against it. The ranged attack should be at disadvantage from Merida, as you are using your ranged attack and it is within 5 feet of you. However, still get to attack. So click disadvantage and then throw the attack. Can you roll that one more time for me, Merida, just to make sure it would not miss because of the disadvantage?
Doesn't matter, I killed it.
Well, yes, but I want to know. Cool, so it would both hit. And then, did you think it's going to take an additional 6 acid damage because you decided to attack it with slashing damage again? And you still succeed on your concentration check. Nice job.
Nice. Do I take an additional 6 damage or 6 total?
You took 4 total damage.
Okay.
You took a d6 of damage.
Okay.
So as this
So
one
I'm at
comes
6
up,
damage now.
it squeals as it comes out of the dirt, and then immediately Merida just turns, fires a bolt of fire through it, and as it's like falling back from it, it just gets carved into 2 pieces as Thicket cuts through it. It falls, scatters to the ground in bits, and then turns to ash. Boop, and then the last one is, hey, it turned visible that time. Don't know why it doesn't like me. It is going to climb back up 15 feet to the ground and move forward and attack Garand. Rar. Stab. Stab with your face. Critical hit with stab face. Take a lot of
Dag
damage.
nabbit.
Is my bark skin even help him at all?
Yes, I think. I think one of them did maybe miss. So it deals a total of 17 damage as It pierces through, immediately shattering your aura that you'd rebuilt. But you do manage to push it away so it doesn't physically harm you very much, but your aura is pretty much depleted. Then it is going to use the last 5 feet of its movement to move.
I don't know what I
downward.
just did. I don't know what I just did, but
Wait.
I got rid of that dagger that does the acid. I don't know what I just did. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can fix things.
I can react, right? Attack.
Yes, use your reaction to attack. What did you do?
Wow.
That's okay. I'll just make a new one.
I don't know why it went away.
What went away? That hits. Next time, make sure to drag it onto the creature.
Yeah.
Why won't you let me make another dagger?
This song reminds me of spin class.
All right. I don't even know how to
this
react
song
to
had
that.
Halloween vibes.
Yeah, no, it reminds me of spin class. Got a pretty good beat for spin.
I don't know what you did. Honestly, I'm looking at it and I'm having a hard time figuring it out. So I'm just gonna make a new one.
It's almost like I somehow dragged it off somehow. Like
Yeah,
I
and it just
removed the whole thing.
disappeared. The weirdest part is it will not let me make a new one. Like it just refuses.
Try attacking with something.
Demons.
No? Alright, but it's fine. I made a new one. There you go. Enjoy. Boop. Alright, but yes. That first attack, as it comes up, Doug swings the Shattered Memory. It catches on part of the plates and actually carves out part of the side of one of those creatures, cutting off several of its legs. It screams in pain. Garand did not have a reaction, I don't believe. Cedar, was Cedar holding? No, she used Cure Wounds.
I should have a reaction.
Do you have a reaction?
I
Alright,
thought
so as it moves out of your range...
But I missed, so...
Cedar... Oh. No, Cedar can also attack as it moves out of her range. As it dives back into the dirt. Because having a burrowing speed is great. And misses as it digs back into the dirt, disappearing from view once again. Bob, you're not allowed to play. Bob doesn't belong here. Cedar, what would Cedar like to do? Garand has just got a very, very big hit.
Yeah, she'll upcast 2nd level.
What was that? Was that Abby?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey. Sorry, you were asleep for your last
You're
turn.
back.
Oh.
That's okay. What would you like to do with Cedar?
Let's see.
Sorry, I wasn't intending the fight to go this long, but here we are.
Well, I gotta fight. That's for sure.
It's true. It burrowed beneath the ground again. Like a problem.
I don't know what to do if he's under the ground.
Probably just ready in action to attack. Usually the easiest thing to do.
Any
that
suggestions?
Garand is very hurt.
Garand is hurt if you wanted to heal.
Okay, thank you. Well, let's do Cure Wounds for Garand.
All right, go ahead and throw that on him.
Do you want to upcast it to 2nd level?
Sure.
It'll make it heal more by using a higher spell slot. All right, so while you're dragging it, go ahead and... Are you able to right-click while you're dragging something? I think you can't, right? Is that correct?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me, yeah.
Okay, so that, and then just increase your hit points by the additional 4. So go ahead and give yourself 4 additional hit points on top of those 8. Alright, and I believe that is Cedar's turn. We'll mark off your other spell slot. Plunk. Alright, Thicket.
Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna move here. Let me freaking move. Why doesn't it let me move?
Because I have to confirm the movement.
Okay.
It helps
Well,
keep
I'm
things
gonna-
from getting confusing during combats when a lot of people are moving around.
I'm gonna move there and hold Cat's Claws.
Alright. Bree is chilling. Moretta.
Okay, so I am going to move up to Garant. And I am going to stick my hands onto the ground and cast Thunderwave.
Alright, so just to be clear, what is the square you're doing? Is it centered directly beneath you? Centered directly beneath you like this, in front of you?
Like that. Wait, go back. Up. There you go.
Centered like that?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to reveal the creature on the combat tracker. Go ahead and target it and make it roll the save, because you are hitting it.
Woohoo!
Because it just went 5 feet below where Thicket is now. You can target by control and left clicking.
Oh, it's a Constitution saving throw.
Yep. So you should be able to roll it against it now.
So do I just drag it?
You should be able to just click the save now, because I went ahead and targeted it for you. So you could drag it, but it's also...
Okay, so just click save. There we go.
It succeeds, but it still takes half damage, so go ahead and roll the damage. Alright, so as you do this, you all see bits of sand burst and fly out of the way as Moretta places her hands in the ground and this burst of thunderous energy travels beneath you all. You stand and wait for a moment, and Thicket, you feel the ground shift beneath you and like get lower, like something was down there, and then didn't be down there anymore.
It feels kind of squishy where I'm standing. I think we got
Is that
it.
good?
I think we got it.
Well, good. Good to know I can do that. Wonder if I can go through walls.
Who knows? But as you finish, as you all take a breath and return to your rest, that is where we are going to end tonight, as it is already past 11 o'clock. Calm down, music. It's not that big of a deal. All right.
Well, good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you all for playing. Goodbye, YouTube.
Bye.